Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, we got some more in breaking news, just in updates. Some huge bombshells flying everywhere. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're gonna just jump right in. I hope everybody that is tuned in right now that you are in good spirits, that you're having a great start to your week. Happy Monday. I hope every last one of you guys is blessed, well, and healthy. We are rocking and rolling on this show 24/7, 7 days a week, trying to bring you the best updates, keeping it real. Keep it real with me in the comment section. You know, if you have anything you want to share or say, please feel free to say it. You know, nobody's against you on this show. It's one love. No matter what side you stand on, no matter what you believe in, no matter what your opinion is, or what you think of this or that. Hey, hit us with it. Let's go down the rabbit hole. You know, but boy, oh boy, we got some big ones coming out of the FBI with Kash, Patel, Bongino, and just a couple minutes ago, Megyn Kelly brought on Bongino, and he just confirmed that Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robertson, the suspect, is now on suicide watch. Check this out.
Ask you this, and you know why, but is he being watched so that there can be no suicide?
Yeah, that's what we've been told from local officials who have custody over him right now, that he is in fact on watch. That is obviously going to remain a concern.
Oh boy, so he is on the watch. There's another report. He was given a suicide jacket. There's issue at risk in the issued at risk inmates. Okay, and then breaking FBI director confirms that there were multiple warning signs ahead of Tyler Robertson's assassination on Charlie Kirk. They appear to have multiple warning signs.
There appear to have been multiple warning signs. You just laid out some of them. There were people in his network, friends and family, who had stated that he had become more political, that he had become, at some parts, I believe some of his coworkers had stated that he had kind of detached himself when the topic of politics came up and walked away from them. Family members said he'd become more political, leading us to believe that this ideology had infected him.
Boy, we're finna get into that full clip right there. But Bongino says we will not rest on this Charlie Kirk case. We will not work, and he posted this picture of him on the Charlie Kirk show, and you know, it again got over millions of hits and likes. And you know, we send our love and condolences, man. You know, but we're going to jump into this full clip, and what's name had reached out to Bongino, Anita, and she said, "Can't stop crying. Everyone misses you. I know you won't rest until his assassin is found." And he said, "Justice is coming. I promise you." And that was the day Charlie got shot. But a huge just-in came in a couple of hours ago on with the FBI on Fox News. So let's go and jump into this. Is the full clip right here. Let's go and jump in.
This Monday morning, we saw an outpouring of support from coast to coast over the weekend, north into Canada for the late Charlie Kirk. How people across the country now are paying tribute, as we say. Although somber weekend, we'll get to everything this coming week. We'll take it day by day. I'm Bill Hemmer. Dana's got the week off, and welcome to our coverage as we begin anew to our old friend.
Tough couple of days. Good morning to you. Good to see you.
Y'all can feel the energy. It's been tough for a lot of us, man. Just like everybody just feels like you could just feel it's not the same, you know. And I told you, it's right now. It's just good versus evil. It's not left versus right, you know. And it's you can tell the energy. You can feel it in the air. Everything is just it's different now. You know, and like I told y'all, this is the turning point. That was the turning point, man. You know. And thank God President Trump is here, and what took place July 13th, that would have really we this close, man. This close. We literally seen the exact same thing with President Trump. This close. Who knows where we will be right now. But everything happens for a reason. And there's a reason President Trump is still here. Yes, indeed, man. And we are going to continue to call it out, and we're going to continue to keep the faith. Yes, indeed.
Shahasni, and this is America's Newsroom. So it was a weekend of remembrance, Bill. Everybody from musicians to athletes and everyday Americans all mourning Charlie Kirk.
Charlie, 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 Charlie.
It's been hitting me harder in the last couple of days, and I just wanted to let Eric and Kirk know that me and my family are sending prayers their way.
USA! 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 USA!
So now we know that Charlie Kirk's memorial service is set for Sunday in Arizona. President Trump will be there. It will be held in a football stadium where the Arizona Cardinals play. Capacity 78,000 possibly.
Wow.
This is Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, reacted to the assassination on Friday evening and then sent out a few of these photos.
And again, y'all seen all those conspiracy theories, people saying all kind of crap, and then seeing a lot of the Black life activist movement, all these people with all this just ridiculous. I tell you, man, I'm not even gonna repeat that stuff that I seen, you know, and all the conspiracy theorists and people say, why did they rush the funeral so fast, you know? But you know, again, people say the stupidest, you know, they say they're always incorrect when they move and think so fast, when they can't think for themselves, when they don't sit down and do the research, you know. Yeah, we're just gonna let y'all sound stupid and deranged, hateful, you know. Stay over there. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? This was all fake and staged. Just like the same people that said that there was a ketchup packet on the stage with President Trump when he was pumping his fist after they shot him.
Over the weekend, she vows to continue his legacy and make the movement even stronger than what he started.
Meanwhile, Bill, we are still learning more about his suspected assassin. Officials are telling us that he is not cooperating with them, but his family and his friends are talking. And FBI Director Kash Patel gave us an update on this investigation this morning. Listen.
I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody. The suspect wrote a note saying, I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
We're going to get into all of that with FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino. He's here with us this morning. But first, let's go to Garrett Tenney. He is in Spanish Fork, Utah. Good morning to you.
Aisha, good morning to you. Apart from that note that Director Patel mentioned, we have also learned that Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin also sent a text message to a different individual saying essentially the same thing, that he had an opportunity to take Charlie out and that he was going to do it because he hated what Charlie stood for. So this is part of the investigation now, looking into who knew what and when. And as part of that, we've learned the FBI is investigating left-wing groups in Utah to see if they knew about the accused killer's plans or provided him with any kind of help.
We're seeing who talked to who, not just in chat groups. We're seeing who texted who was around who. We're using our geofencing capabilities to map out exactly where individuals were. And then we're also getting into their personal cell phone information to say, were you calling so-and-so? Were you texting so-and-so? And we know the suspect was communicating with folks.
We're also getting a glimpse into the suspect's mindset during the days after the assassination. This new surveillance video obtained by TMZ shows the 22-year-old walking up to UVU's campus the morning of the shooting, just as about 4 hours before it happened, wearing a maroon shirt and light-colored shorts. We know he later changed into this outfit that the FBI released images of. After those images went out, we have learned that some of the suspect's friends in an online group chat were joking that he looked just like the man in those pictures. The New York Times reports that the suspect allegedly replied that his doppelganger was trying to, quote, get me in trouble. And when another friend joked that the group could turn him in for the reward, the suspect allegedly said, quote, only if I get a cut. Back here at the Utah County Jail, officials tell us the suspect is being held in a separate unit under special watch to make sure he doesn't hurt himself or others before his first court appearance tomorrow. We're told he will appear virtually and that ahead of that hearing, prosecutors will formally file charges against him. Aisha?
Okay, Garrett Tenney live for us. Garrett, thank you.
So Dan Bongino is the FBI Deputy Director. And sir, thank you for your time this morning. Important stuff here after a very heavy weekend. Thank you for being here. I want to go back to last week on the day that he was killed. Try and clear up a few things as best we can. Did anyone in that crowd aid or assist this assassination?
Well, that's what we're looking into now, Bill. Obviously, we have a suspect in custody. It's quite clear. It's why I'm here discussing this individual. However, if this was a larger effort, there was any aiding and abetting, whether it be financial, whether it be someone who knew the specifics of it and failed to report that. As you heard the director say this morning, we as an FBI, our team, along with our state and local partners, are looking into that. We have a lot of technical capabilities, a lot of good investigative capabilities, where we can scrub that entire network, whether it's OSINT, open source intel, through social media that people posted publicly. We'll be looking at that. We'll also be dropping a lot of paper, a lot of subpoenas out there to take a look to see if there was any extended network. But I want to be clear, there are things I can say, as you well know today, and things I can't. I don't want to get ahead or jeopardize the investigation. But when I can what I can share with you, Bill, I will. We are clinging to transparency here. This is, the era of the, Cronkite and Jennings generation is over. New media now is media. And we want to be sure we can do everything in our power to share what we can, when we can, while still balancing the needs of the investigation.
Okay, I heard Kash Patel 90 minutes ago in our program. I want to get to a couple of things that he made news on, but first I want to drill on this. Is there any connection at all between the person who was asking the question about mass shooters and trans killers, or was that just a stunning coincidence when that single shot was fired?
Well, we're investigating that. I don't want to say conclusively right now if there was a connection or not. Charlie was known to speak out about these issues. He was a powerful voice. It's not terribly uncommon for him to get questions like that. However, we are looking into that. Any potential connection here,
okay, so
we're going to scrub.
I'm not drawing conclusions from your answer, but you're saying it's a possibility. Is that what I hear you saying?
We're looking into everything, Bill. There's not going to be a stone left unturned if there was anyone involved who aided, abetted. I can't say that in strong enough terms. Every single FBI asset on this team is being applied and used in this investigation.
Okay, after he fired that single fatal shot, we've got the video of him jumping off the backside of the building. Where is the gun when he drops 15 feet down to the grass below?
Well, if you look at the video, the gun is you'll see in the back of the when you're watching the video right there. It appears from the video here that the gun is either in the backpack or on him. When he jumps down, this is where, by the way, this part of the video, this is where we got a significant portion of the forensic evidence in the case, which we had to expedite. We had a number of assets.
Again, so many people, y'all seen all these conspiracy theories, so many people saying that there's no gun in this video of him jumping down. I know y'all seeing the exact same things, and y'all seeing, I know there's so many conspiracy theories from people on the left, people on the right, people in the middle, people saying all kind of things. They're saying the footage, the footage of the guy, of him, it doesn't look the same to the mug shot. People are saying, wait, this might not be the suspect or this, but again, everybody's like, nah, this is the guy. But there's so many people questioning this, they're questioning that. I know y'all, there's so many conspiracy theorists, so many people bringing up this happened because of this, Israel, this. It's literally a full-blown millions of conspiracy theorists on this assassination, And I'm just telling you guys, so because I know y'all are seeing the exact same thing. Y'all seen the most deranged videos on your timelines, your For You pages, So, but these are good questions to ask. Dan Bunch, live on television. People want answers. People want to know everything. And I told y'all, let everything play out, and we're gonna see what comes out from this.
Including fixed wing assets to be able to fly. If obviously Salt Lake and that specific area in Provo is not around the corner from FBI labs, it was difficult. But we were able, during that scene, him grabbing that particular side of the building and jumping down, we were able to gather a significant amount of forensic information, which we expedited back to the lab, which was the key, I think, piece of information that we were able to crack this thing open.
Okay. Just looking at that video, it's hard to see the weapon, and that's why the question is still obvious to me today. Kash Patel said earlier today that he expressed to someone that he had an opportunity to take out the killer and was going to do it. Did that person do anything with that information?
Yeah, that's what we're really disturbed about. It appears that this was communicated. You see this a lot, Bill, when in targeted violence cases, assassinations, school shootings, where the individual expresses in advance in a good swath of these cases his desire or her desire to do these specific things. That appears to be the case here as well, where the intent component was there in advance, and the target was announced in advance prior. Now, that's the part we want to know. Did they know and not say? Now, Bill, you have to keep in mind, and I don't want anyone to jump to conclusions on this. Did they say it, hear it, and think it was some kind of a joke? That's what we're trying to find out now. But I promise you, if there's a larger network here, we're going to get that out to the public as soon as we can. We really are.
Okay, the reason why this is really important to your investigation, understanding motive that I'll get to in a moment here, is that I believe that if I've got the dates right here, that event was announced 1 week before it happened. And we've got the reporting from over the weekend that said that the killer, the accused killer now, expressed views with his family at a dinner table.
Dinner table, man.
And I don't know what the timeline is between when that happened. Was it hours or was it days? I mean, clearly it had to be at least a couple days, if not less. And if he also expressed this opinion that he had an opportunity to take out Kirk and was going to do it, well, when was that message transmitted? From the point that Charlie was killed?
This is the troubling part of the investigation as I see it now. There appear to have been multiple warning signs. You just laid out some of them. There were people in his network, friends and family, who had stated that he had become more political, that he had become, at some parts, I believe some of his coworkers had stated that he had kind of detached himself when the topic of politics came up and walked away from them. Family members said he'd become more political, leading us to believe that this ideology had infected him and had taken over. And he was just intent, it appears, from the data we've accumulated and the channel and that note, which we have some evidence may have existed before based on the communications in that channel, that his target was obviously going to be Charlie and that people knew in advance. The question is, again, I just want to go back to what you had asked before. Did they know, were they sure of this, or did they hear this and just write it off? That's what we're going to have to find out, and that's what we're investigating now. Bill, this investigation is just begun. This isn't even the beginning of the beginning. You know, yes, we have a subject in custody. You know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in our constitutional republic. However, this is not done by any stretch. Our men and women out there in the Bureau have worked tirelessly all week, and I just got back to D.C. Last night. And, Kash and I were out there on the scene. We walked the scene. We went through every single component of it. We saw the evidence up close and personal. And we went out there to be able to make command decisions with our team on the ground. And I think the process, although not perfect, of course, I think the process went pretty well considering we got him in 33 hours.
Okay, yeah, I respect the process here too. The governor, Cox, said he had a leftist ideology. I don't know what issues were important to him. Maybe you can share that with us today. And Kash Patel said, if I've got this right, he said, I'm looking at facts, not motive. What's the working theory as to motive?
Well, I think it's pretty clear based on the statements of family members, friends, and some of the messaging we have on these digital footprints left behind, that he clearly had some obsession with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is obviously a conservative commentator. That's no secret to anyone out there. So while, again, I don't want to speak in advance and jeopardize the case in any way, I think it's fairly obvious to everyone out there, and there's no need to parse words with it, that clearly this was an ideologically motivated attack. I mean, Charlie Kirk is a conservative commentator who sadly and tragically gave his life, underneath a sign asking people to challenge his ideas, the very essence of our constitutional republican. Bill, if I may, I know it's a news show, but Charlie was my friend. Charlie wasn't my friend. Charlie was my good friend. And I spent the weekend, after coming back from Utah, looking through text exchanges going back years with Charlie. And it's kind of hard to believe he's not here. So, this has been hard for everyone. And I think it's fair and appropriate for every one of the taxpayers who finances your FBI to ask questions about everything. You know what? It wasn't perfect, but it should be. Next time we'll try to make it more perfect. But I just ask everyone to keep in mind that both Kash and I, this was very emotional for us. We had to put that aside. We had a job to do. And when everything settled down and finally got a little bit of sleep last night, it hit me that, Charlie's not here anymore. And that was tough for everyone. So I'm not asking for anybody's forgiveness for missteps here and there. We got our guy in 33 hours. Everything, we're going to go look at everything when this is done. And next time, when there's a crisis, what we can do well, we can do better, we can do better, we can do even better than that.
Yeah, Dan, I'm sorry for your loss. And I appreciate you working the story and the investigation.
Boy.
It's important to America and the world to figure this out. And I hope we do in quick order, I will say. But thank you for coming on.
Boy.
And let's get it right.